the quiet space where thoughts settle like dust after wind. There is a teaching often overlooked by those who chase abundance with restless hands. Wealth, like water, does not flow toward force. It flows toward clarity, intention, and inner harmony. Among the many symbolic practices passed through generations, there is one simple ritual using salt, ordinary in appearance, yet powerful in meaning. It is not the salt itself that changes destiny, but the awareness we bring while using it. When the mind becomes still, even the simplest act becomes a doorway to transformation. Today, this teaching is shared not as superstition, but as a reminder. Your inner state shapes your outer flow. There is a practice known as the salt ritual for cleansing financial energy and inviting clarity around money. It is performed in silence, with mindfulness and deep respect for the unseen patterns of life. To begin, one takes a small pinch of salt. This salt represents the burdens we carry, worries about scarcity, fear of loss, memories of financial struggle, and the invisible weight of doubt. Hold it gently between your fingers, not as an object of power, but as a symbol of release. Now, close your eyes. Breathe in slowly, and as you breathe out, imagine every financial fear dissolving into emptiness. The salt becomes a vessel for all that you no longer wish to carry. With quiet intention, speak inwardly. What I release no longer defines my path. What remains is clarity, wisdom, and right action. Then, dissolve the salt in a bowl of clean water. Watch it disappear without resistance. This is the teaching. Just as salt vanishes in water, so too can attachment to worry dissolve. When met with awareness, do not rush this moment. Observe the stillness. The water now holds nothing visible, yet it has become a mirror of your intention. The salt ritual is symbolic, not magical. It represents releasing financial fears, worries, and mental burdens that block clarity and decision-making. The salt ritual begins with a simple yet profound awareness that what weighs most heavily on a person is often not their external circumstances, but their internal state. A small pinch of salt is taken as a symbolic representation of all financial worries, fear of lack, anxiety about bills, regret over past mistakes, and uncertainty about the future. In this moment, the salt is not seen as ordinary matter, but as a vessel holding the accumulated tension of the mind. The practitioner holds it gently, not with attachment, but with understanding. As the eyes close and breathing slows, attention turns inward, allowing the noise of desire and fear to settle. Each breath becomes an invitation to release the mental patterns that create pressure around money. With exhalation, there is a silent letting go, as if the weight stored in the salt is being returned to emptiness. The salt is then dissolved into clean water, symbolizing the transformation of solid worry into formless clarity. Watching it disappear teaches the mind that what once seemed heavy and permanent is actually temporary and changeable. In this quiet observation, awareness deepens. The practitioner begins to realize that financial stress is often strengthened by thought, not reality itself. When thought is softened, perception becomes clearer, and with clarity comes a sense of relief, as if space has been created within the mind for wiser understanding and more balanced decisions to emerge naturally. Holding and dissolving salt in water is a mindfulness practice meant to help the mind let go of scarcity thinking and emotional attachment to money problems. The second part of this teaching turns attention from release toward inner alignment, where real change begins to take shape. After the salt has dissolved and the mind has observed the fading of worry, there is a moment of stillness that should not be ignored. In this silence, the practitioner is invited to look honestly at their relationship with money, not with judgment, but with clarity. Questions arise gently within. How is income being approached? And from what state of mind are decisions being made? When fear dominates, choices become rushed and unstable. When desire is uncontrolled, satisfaction remains distant even after gain. But when awareness is present, actions become measured and purposeful. This reflection is the heart of the practice. It is here that understanding replaces habit. The ritual serves as a mirror, showing that external wealth is deeply connected to internal order. A calm mind begins to notice opportunities that were previously hidden by anxiety. A balanced mind avoids unnecessary loss caused by impulsive behavior. The salt and water have already symbolized release. But now the focus shifts to cultivation, building patience, discipline, and right effort. In this way, financial improvement is not forced from outside, but naturally unfolds from within, as clarity guides every decision and removes confusion from the path ahead. The act of releasing salt into water reflects the deeper idea that confusion and fear around finances can dissolve when met with awareness and calm reflection. The third aspect of this teaching moves deeper into understanding how perception shapes financial reality. When the mind is clouded by fear, even stable income feels insufficient, and even small setbacks appear overwhelming. But when awareness becomes steady, the same circumstances are seen with balance and wisdom. This shift is subtle, yet it changes everything. The salt ritual serves as a reminder that what seems solid and permanent, such as worry, lack, or uncertainty, is actually fluid and dependent on mental interpretation. Just as salt dissolves completely in water, financial anxiety dissolves when it is observed without resistance. In this clarity, a person begins to notice patterns in their behavior that were previously hidden. Unnecessary spending driven by emotion, missed opportunities due to doubt, and delayed action caused by overthinking. Awareness of these patterns is not meant to create guilt, but to open the door to correction. From this space, financial decisions become more intentional. Instead of reacting, one responds with understanding. Instead of chasing, one chooses with patience. Over time, this mental stability becomes a foundation for consistent progress. Wealth then is no longer seen as something unpredictable or dependent on luck, but as the natural outcome of clear perception, steady effort, and disciplined thinking aligned with reality. rather than illusion. True financial improvement comes not from ritual alone, but from inner alignment, clear thinking, responsible actions, and disciplined habits. The fourth dimension of this teaching emphasizes the transformation of habit into discipline. After release and reflection, awareness must now be carried into daily life. Otherwise, insight remains only an experience of a moment. The salt ritual, though symbolic, points toward a deeper responsibility to act with consistency once the mind is clear. Financial stability is not built through occasional understanding, but through repeated choices made in awareness. When the mind has been trained to observe fear without being controlled by it, impulsive actions naturally reduce. Spending becomes more thoughtful, saving becomes more intentional, and effort becomes more focused. In this way, discipline is not forced, but grows organically from clarity. The practitioner begins to notice that small changes in behavior, such as delaying unnecessary purchases, planning expenses, or improving skills, gradually reshape their financial path. These actions may appear simple, yet they carry great weight over time. The teaching suggests that true prosperity is not sudden, but cumulative, built through steady alignment between intention and action. Just as salt disappears quietly in water, confusion disappears quietly in disciplined living. What remains is structure, direction, and a grounded approach to life where financial growth becomes a natural expression of mindful effort and sustained awareness. Luck is reframed as the natural result of a calm, focused, and awakened mind that makes wise choices and recognizes opportunities clearly. The final aspect of this teaching brings everything into integration, where understanding, release, and discipline come together as a continuous way of living rather than a single practice. The salt ritual is no longer seen as an isolated act, but as a reminder of a deeper truth, that financial well-being is inseparable from mental clarity and inner balance. When the mind is calm, decisions are no longer driven by panic or excessive desire, but by thoughtful awareness of what is truly necessary. In this state, life is approached with patience, and outcomes are allowed to unfold without forcing or resisting them. The practitioner begins to trust the rhythm of effort and result, understanding that stability is built gradually through consistent right action. Over time, this attitude reduces unnecessary stress around money and replaces it with steady confidence. Opportunities are not chased blindly, but recognized clearly when they arise. Setbacks are no longer seen as failures, but as adjustments in the ongoing process of learning. In this way, what many call luck is redefined as the harmony between inner clarity and outer action. The salt, once dissolved, leaves no trace in the water, just as fear leaves no trace